In the quiet village of Umuoka, Adaora, daughter of Maziominka the potmaker, was a legend. Her beauty was divine, skin like fresh palm oil, a voice softer than the evening wind, and a laughter that cured sadness. Men traveled from distant lands, offering gold, beads, and promises of kingdoms for her hand. Yet Adaora refused them all: warriors, traders, even the prince. Her heart was strange. She cared nothing for fame or riches. She simply told her mother, "The gods see deeper than the eyes of men," and insisted, "I will marry only the man whose soul calls to mine." Her parents wept, fearing she would die unmarried, but Adaora remained firm in her gentle conviction. One hot afternoon at the bustling village market, Adaora's quest ended. She saw Obieze, the cursed one. His face was a map of scars, one eye was half shut, and his leg was bent since birth, forcing him to limp. Obieze lived as an outcast, mocked by children and avoided by women, taking solace only by the riverbank. Yet, as he struggled past, Aurora's heartbeat changed. She saw past the flaws and glimpsed a brilliant, divine light within him. She had found her choice. When she returned home and told her parents she would marry Obieze, her father nearly fainted in shame. "The pride of Umuoka marrying a man who can barely walk?" he shouted. The news ignited the village in scorn and laughter, but Adaora was serene. The gods have chosen him. They will soon understand what the gods are doing. The wedding day was a mockery. There were no joyful drums, no dancers, and no celebration, only pity and scorn from the villagers who had once envied Adora's beauty. As she walked toward Obieze, the air grew heavy. Then the sky darkened, and a heavy wind tore through the land, bending palm trees and rattling the thatched roofs. Suddenly, a lightning bolt struck the roof of the palace, followed by thunder so loud it shook the very earth. The chief priest, terrified, dropped his staff and bowed low. "The gods are here," he murmured. Every sound ceased. Laughter was replaced by pure fear in the hearts of those who had mocked the sacred union. In their small, silent hut that night, Adora sat beside the wounded Obieze, content. "Let them mock," she whispered. "My heart is at peace." Obieze turned to his bride, his eyes shining strangely in the firelight. Then the miracle began. A brilliant golden light filled the small hut, radiating from him. Adaora watched, trembling, as the scars on his face began to melt and fade away. His bent legs slowly straightened, and his voice deepened, sounding like rolling thunder. Adaora whispered, "Who are you?" Obieze smiled gently, transformed into a radiant, flawless man. "I am the son of the river goddess," he revealed. "I was cursed until a woman with a pure heart, a woman who could love me without fear, would choose me." Tears flooded Adaura's eyes. The thunder on the wedding day had not been a sign of wrath, but the sound of an ancient curse finally shattering. She had been tested by the gods, and she had passed. When they stepped out of the hut the next morning, the villagers fell to their knees. The man they had scorned was now divine, tall, radiant, and glowing like the morning sun. The air itself seemed to bow before him. Crying out for forgiveness, the people wept on the ground. Adora, however, was serene. "You mocked what the gods were molding," she gently told them. From that day, blessings flooded Umuwoka. Crops flourished, children were born healthy, and the laughter that had been silenced by the thunder returned to the land, now rich and joyful. The village's newfound peace and prosperity did not escape notice. The prince, whom Adaora had once rejected, was consumed by a blinding rage and jealousy. He gathered his soldiers and rode to Umawoka, swearing to destroy Obiaze. Standing before the radiant couple, the prince shouted, "I will kill this monster you call husband." But as his sword flashed upward, the sky roared. The gods, guardians of the pure, intervened instantly. A bolt of lightning struck the prince, and his entire body turned into dust before the villagers' eyes. The people screamed and fell flat, while the chief priest whispered, "The gods protect the pure." The village learned the costly lesson. Those blessed by the divine are untouchable. That night, the gentle voice of the river called Ada Aurora's name. Barefoot, she walked to the bank and saw a woman clothed in silver, glowing like the moon, the river goddess herself. "My son is free because of your fearless love," the goddess declared. She handed Ada Aurora a white shawl, luminous with sacred light. "Use this shawl whenever your people are in trouble. Your love has broken an ancient curse." Ada Aurora returned home, clutching the shawl, and the lineage of the blessed began. She later gave birth to twins, one human and one a spirit child. The oracle declared that their bloodline would protect the land for 1,000 years. Time inevitably tested Umwaka. A severe famine struck, drying the rivers and making the crops wither. The hungry villagers rushed to the king, who in turn summoned the oracle. The answer was clear. Only the woman who married the ugly man can bring back the rain. The same people who had once scorned Adora now ran to her hut, weeping and begging for her forgiveness and help. Adora said nothing. She walked to the riverbank, spread the white shawl across the dry ground, and called upon the river goddess. The sky immediately darkened, a loud rumble echoed, and mighty rain poured down for 7 days and 7 nights. The king fell to his knees before her, declaring, "From today, love shall never be mocked in this land." Though saved from famine, Umuoka faced another, darker threat. Jealous dark spirits from the forest attacked the village, turning men into savage beasts. Adaora, the village's true guardian, ran swiftly to the river. Lifting the white shawl, she shouted ancient words, and the powerful burst of golden light exploded from the water, chasing the spirits away forever. The land was safe. Before her death, Adaora gathered her children and gave them her final, profound wisdom. Never judge by face or riches. What is ugly in the eyes of men may be holy in the eyes of the gods. When Adaora died, the river turned a beautiful, flowing golden color for 7 days as the goddess mourned her. Her story became the most sacred in Umuoka. To this day, the maidens sing at the stream. Beauty fades, but a pure heart lives forever. Adaora chose love, and the gods chose her. Her destiny was fulfilled not by kings or gold, but by the virtue of her heart, which chose the man the world had discarded. It is a lesson that echoes through the generations. The gods often hide their greatest blessings behind broken faces.